Welcome to The Explainer. Today we are tackling something you've definitely heard of, but maybe don't think about enough, the 2-second rule. We're not just going to tell you what it is, we're going to show you exactly why it's so critical, and why getting it wrong is, honestly, one of the biggest gambles you can take on the road.
So, the source material that inspired this explainer, it kicks off with this really vivid memory from childhood. Imagine seeing a huge pileup, like 5 or 6 cars just smashed into each other, one after the other. That image of crumpled metal and, just shocked faces, it's stuck with the author forever. And it's a really stark reminder, right? We're not just talking about boring traffic rules here. We're talking about making sure a scene like that never happens to you.
And that's exactly what a chain reaction crash is. It all starts with one car hitting the brakes hard. But the real disaster? That's caused by the car right behind them, following way too close. And then, bam! The next car hits them, and the one after that. It's like this horrible, expensive, and dangerous set of dominoes. And the crazy part is, it's almost always preventable.
Now get this. That memory was from back in the 1970s. We're talking a time before smartphones, before those complicated touchscreen stereos, before all the million and one things that are fighting for our attention in the car today. So if these pile-ups were happening then, just think about how much higher the stakes are now.
So what is it? What's the real culprit behind these accidents? Well, it almost always comes down to just a tiny moment, a single second where your eyes aren't on the road. But come on, right? How much can really happen in just 1 second? Okay, let's actually put that to the test. So, picture this. You're on the highway doing, say, 100 kilometers an hour. That's about 62 miles per hour. A notification pops up on your phone. You just glance down for 1 single second. That's it. How far do you honestly think your car has traveled in that one little blip of time?
The answer? A pretty shocking 25 meters, or about 82 feet. In the time it took you to just glance down and look back up, you have driven a huge distance, completely blind to whatever is happening on the road in front of you. To really let that sink in, imagine driving the entire length of a professional basketball court with your eyes shut. Seriously, that's exactly what's happening in that 1 second glance. If the car ahead of you has to slam on their brakes during that second, a crash isn't just possible, it's pretty much a guarantee. So, how do we fight that? How do we build in a safety net for that human moment of distraction? You need a buffer. You need a dead simple principle that gives you back that time. And that, my friends, is the golden 2-second rule.
And the rule itself is just beautifully simple. The idea is to always leave at least a 2-second gap between your car and the one ahead. And notice, I said seconds, not feet or meters. That's the magic right there, because time automatically adjusts for your speed. The faster you go, the more distance that 2 seconds covers. It's your own personal, built-in safety margin.
And this rule is smart. It actually adapts to where you're driving. When you're out on the highway or faster roads, that 2-second gap is the bare minimum, non-negotiable. Now, in slower city traffic, you might be okay with a 1-second gap, but honestly, more is always going to be better, right?
And look, this isn't just about preventing those big, scary, high-speed wrecks. It's also perfect for avoiding those super frustrating low-speed fender benders and stop-and-go traffic. You know the scene. We've all been there. The car in front starts to move, so you start to move, and then, for no reason, they just slam on the brakes again.
Okay, so here's how you use the rule to avoid that exact little accident. The car in front of you moves. What do? Nothing. You just stay put. And you count, out loud if you have to, 1 and 2 end. Then you can start to move. That tiny little pause, that's your buffer. It gives you all the time in the world to react if they suddenly stop. It's a tiny habit that'll save you a massive headache, trust me.
But hey, this isn't just some friendly advice your grandpa gave you. It's actually grounded in hard science. And to really appreciate why that 2-second gap is so critical, we've got to look at the actual physics of stopping a car.
All right, here is a bit of physics that I think blows most drivers' minds. If you double your speed, let's say you go from 40 to 80 kilometers per hour, you'd think you need double the distance to stop, right? Nope, you need 4 times the distance. 4. It's because your car's stopping energy, the force you need to overcome, it doesn't just add up, it multiplies with speed.
And you can see that insane effect right here on this chart. Look at this. At 40 kilometers an hour, that's about 25 miles per hour, you need 16 meters to brake, okay? But double that speed to 80, and look what happens. That distance just explodes to over 60 meters. That massive, massive jump is exactly the danger that the 2-second rule is designed to protect you from.
So yeah, you're fighting the laws of physics, but you're also up against the laws of the land. Driving too close isn't just a bad idea, it's flat out illegal. And the penalties can be really serious because the law understands just how risky it is.
And these penalties, they really show how serious this is. In a lot of places, just general tailgating can hit your wallet for hundreds. But if you get caught doing it at high speed with less than, say, a 30-meter gap, now you're talking a very serious offense and you're losing points off your license. And if you get even closer than that, they can classify it as dangerous driving. The bottom line is, wherever you live, the authorities do not mess around with tailgating.
You know, when you really boil it down, the 2-second rule isn't just a single trick. It's more like the foundation of a much bigger idea, defensive driving. And that's about making a mental shift, right? From just passively steering the car to actively seeing and managing the risks all around.
And adopting these habits, this is what really changes the game. Signaling early lets everyone know what you're about to do. Actually looking over your shoulder to check your blind spots, that tells you what's really there. Making smooth, gradual changes instead of jerky ones prevents surprises for everyone. And of course, the big ones. Avoid distractions, stay sharp, and always, always try to see and be seen. It's all about taking control and creating your own little safety bubble on the road. So, here we are. After all the physics, the risks, the real-world examples, it all really just comes down to a choice. It's a choice you make every single time you get in the driver's seat. The 2-second rule is so easy to remember. It's so simple to do. So the real question isn't whether it works or not. We know it does. The real question is, how much space are you going to leave tomorrow?